amazing little cemetery. Today we're here in the town of Framingham, Massachusetts, just outside the city of Boston. We're going to be touring this cemetery that dates back to the year 1698. Let's have a look. Old Burian Ground Cemetery, established 1698. Within these walls are the final resting places of 89 veterans of the Revolutionary War. Among these are the following Framingham Minutemen and militiamen who marched to Concord on April 19, 1775. Here's a stone that's had quite a bit of work. You can see all these iron straps that they've bolted onto it to help keep it together. In memory of Mr. Peter Parker, it looks like it says. Died in 1803. And here is Ruth Parker, his wife. Site of the first schoolhouse, erected 1716. So now we're going to head up this dirt road here and take a look inside this fenced-in area. As you can see, there's this really old wrought iron fence coming up. Let's take a look at some of the headstones and see what we can learn. Up first, right in the front here, is Betsy, wife of Joseph Budminster, died March 25th, 1863. Harold Chase Buckminster, I pronounced that wrong the first time. It's Buckminster, born June 23rd, 1874, died September 27th, 1941. This is just a stone with the placard in memory of Elizabeth Joyce Buckminster, 1939 to 1939. September 19th to September 21st. Just 3 days old. Here's another one that's really difficult to read. At least try to find a date on it. Died July 1st, 1791. As you saw on the sign when we came in, this cemetery was established in 1698, so there should be some stones much older than this. But again, sometimes they're really hard to read. Another interesting stone here, it's just a regular rock with a placard on it. Again, no headstone, but it's very interesting. It says, Joan Buckminster, Deolay, born in Brookline, Massachusetts in 1901, married in Rome, Italy in 1926, and died in Cairo, Egypt, March 1928. And below it, and no bird sings. Well, let's head out of here and walk around and see if we can get some older stones. I'd like to find some from the early 1700s. This group of stones over here, as you can see, there's some houses here. We're right in the middle of the city. This group of stones, look how old these ones look. They're all leaning forward. I'm not sure if you can tell from the backs here, but they're so raw and uncut on the back, which makes me think that they're really old. Look at this. What is that for a strange mark? It almost looks like someone clawed at it. Perhaps it had something to do with the manufacturing process. I don't know. Can we get a reading in any of these? Look at that group of stones. Wow. These are amazing. Here lies buried the body of Mr. David Goddard, who was a faithful and painful minister of Christ, pastor of the Church of Christ. He died in 1754. This one you can see is missing. Big chunk is broken off. I wonder what happened to it. Same design. This almost looks like an alien face to me. Really strange. I guess this is the eyes and the mouth, but it looks like this is an infinity symbol here. So there may be more meaning than I realized to some of these. I've seen a lot of very similar artwork on all of the stones around Massachusetts. You see them repeated. I believe there was only a few headstone makers back in that time. So you'll start to see that they were all made by the same people. But this art style I have never seen before. This is really unique. Here lies buried the body of Madame Susanna Goddard, consort of the Honorable Edward Goddard, who departed this life in February 1754, aged 78 years. There is a little inscription on the bottom of all of them. Usually it's a nice poem or some type of religious saying, but on these I can't quite read them. And now the last one in this series, strangely enough, has a very different carving. Perhaps this stone was made later. It looks a lot newer than the rest. It's much cleaner edges. You can see looks almost more machine cut, whereas these are really chiseled at the top. You can really see the tool markings. So perhaps this stone has been replaced. I'm not sure. Let's see what it says. In memory of Elijah Goddard, son of Captain Elijah Goddard of Sutton. I'm not sure what that says. Anyway, passed in 1771. Interesting. Wow, that is a really beautiful old set of stones right here. Erected in memory of Noah Eaton, who died June 12th, 1814, aged 82 years. Now you'll see behind it, here's another one of these flags with the Revolutionary War medallion. If you remember when we first entered the cemetery, there was a placard that said there's 89 Revolutionary War soldiers buried here. So there must be exactly 89 American flags. Now here we are at the far end of the cemetery, all the way in the back. And here sits this one lonely stone, all by itself. However, this stone is perhaps one of, if not the most important stones in the entire cemetery. This stone belongs to a Mr. Peter Salem, a soldier of the Revolution. Concord, Bunker Hill, Saratoga. Died August 16th, 1816. Peter Salem was born a slave on October 1st, 1750, right here in the city of Framingham, Massachusetts. His enslaver, a man named Jeremiah Belknap, later sold him to Major Lawson Buckminster. Ah, that's where the name Buckminster comes into play. Interesting. Buckminster later emancipated Salem in 1775 so he could enlist in the Massachusetts militia in what soon became the Revolutionary War. Salem took part at the war's first battle at Concord on April 19, 1775. Later, he fought with his company in the Battle of Bunker Hill. He also fought at the battles of Saratoga and Stony Point. After the war, he spent the rest of his life living peacefully. He married and built a cabin where he worked as a cane weaver. Peter Salem died on August 16, 1816, aged 65. He was buried right here in the old Burian Ground in Framingham. Born a slave and died a Revolutionary War hero. He fought for his liberty twice and won both times. What an amazing man. Kudos to you, sir, Mr. Peter Salem. In memory of Captain Jeremiah Belknap, who died May 26, 1816, aged 76. Draw near, my friends, and take a thought, how soon the grave may be your lot. Make sure of Christ while life remains, and death will be eternal gain. Wait a minute. That name, Jeremiah Belknap, that's the man who first enslaved Mr. Peter Salem. Look at this row of stones. These are really old and likely original. This one is interesting because the carving is not done well at all. It looks almost as if I had done it, with scratching into it. It's handwritten, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It looks like the date on it though is 1704. That is the oldest stone we've found yet, and that is really amazing. Really amazing. Again, this cemetery founded in 1698, so this is just 6 years after this cemetery was founded. That perhaps is one of the oldest stones here in the entire cemetery. Here's another interesting one. Again, it looks like it's hand carved, like someone just scratched it in there, you know what I mean? Really strange. Now, as previously mentioned, there's the resting place of 89 Revolutionary War soldiers here, but I just came across a World War II Army veteran, Alden Dunham. U.S. Army, World War II, October 11th, 1899 to May 10th, 1989. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Once again, thanks for watching.